What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy SEFtheLawnSurgeon, and you already know what time it is. A tipsy talk. What's going on, guys? Had to do this quick tipsy talk. I know I had to show the sweatshirt because the day I'm going to be posting this video is going to be Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to you guys, all the people out there celebrating Thanksgiving. I don't know, some people don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but I'll be smoking some teriyaki teriyaki nuggets. I chop chicken thighs into chunks and then smoke them that way. That way it's easier to eat, you know what I mean? You can eat it with rice or, you know, by hand, however you want to eat it. Taking that over to my parents' house. I'm going over to my parents' house. McGee's making some mac and cheese, the best mac and cheese ever. And yeah, so that's what we're doing for Thanksgiving. So I hope y'all have a good time with Thanksgiving. And I just want to apologize in advance to all the Redskins fans. I'm sorry. Anywho, wanted to make this quick video. I just posted a video today or yesterday or something, but I got a comment on it. Somebody asked me about good old Turfmaster, and it kind of piggybacks off Blake. He had just posted a video. I think Blake had got a Turfmaster, and he was comparing it to the Timemaster. I got my Timemaster right there, and it's been a wonderful mower. And I think the person's question was he was thinking about getting a Turfmaster. What do you think? Should he get it? So what I thought I would do is I would because our first disclaimer is that I've never ever used a Turfmaster ever in my life. That's the first disclaimer, but I have researched and I do know some information about it. The second disclaimer is that everybody's setup is different, you know what I mean? Don't base your setup around somebody else's setup. You have to really, you know, it's kind of hard to do without actually buying the equipment or using the equipment on a daily basis, but you have to figure out what's right for you and how you want your setup. So that determines whether you need a Timemaster or a Turfmaster. Now, let's get into that. First thing I'm going to talk about is the Timemaster. The Timemaster, it is a residential mower. And for those of you who are not, you know, who knew and don't know the difference between residential mowers, a residential mower is basically built to be used like once a week. If they say it's going to last you 8 years, the Toro or whatever is saying that mower is a residential mower, and it's only meant to be used once a week over a span of 8 years. Now, if you're using that commercially and you're cutting it with it like 5 whole yards 5 times a week, then of course that's gonna cut that years down and it's gonna put more wear and tear on it, so that lawnmower might break down more. Me personally, that's what I was doing, you know what I mean? And it wasn't by choice. That was my only option I had, you know, at the time of getting a mower. And I'm gonna talk more into that. I'm gonna make a part 2 to start a lawn care business. I made a video a while ago, but I'm gonna do that soon. But yeah, it's all about it, because, and then let me talk about the Turfmaster. Now, basically, the Turfmaster is just the commercial version of the Timemaster. It has a stronger deck. The deck is more thicker and heavier. This part right here that's plastic. Most of the parts that's plastic, they're metal. So this is metal. This chute blocker here, that's metal. You know what I mean? It's a lot of different stuff. More of the stuff is more metal. Has a engine guard on it, metal engine guard. And it has different controls to it, right? So with that being said, I know y'all saying, well, Seth, so does that mean I shouldn't buy the Timemaster if I'm a commercial, doing commercial lawn care, or should I buy it? And the answer to that is, it depends. It depends on your situation. Now, residentially, if you're just a residential guy out there looking at my video and you're saying, hey, I'm interested in Timemaster, I'm gonna tell you, you need to 100% get it, because it's gonna be way better than any regular push mower 21-inch you're gonna find anywhere, and you're gonna love it. Even if you got a ½ acre all the way up to, you know, 3/4 of an acre, the Timemaster will be awesome for it. Now, lawn care guys, I would consider the Timemaster a transitional mower. And what I mean by that is, see me, like I was saying, I was in a position where I needed a walk behind, but I couldn't afford a walk behind at the time. I had $1,000, so I had to get what I could afford. So I went ahead and I got the Timemaster, and I kind of used it as a walk behind. I didn't use it that, you know, that badly. I had about 10 properties, and so I would cut about 5 yards a week. And I would say out of those 5 cuts a week, 2 to 3 of those cuts, I would use the Timemaster to cut just the front yard. And the reason I was using it is because I had people's yards that were getting treated, so I needed something to mulch it and cut it nice and clean. So that's what I was using my Timemaster for. I wasn't using it to cut whole yards, so that's why I kind of said that I can maybe get away with it, even though and as much as I was using it, I was overusing it, because that's not what that mower is made for. Did it work for me? Yeah, because I just made sure I'm OCD, so any little thing that was going wrong on it, I checked on it, blah blah blah. So I kept it running. Anywho, if that's the situation that you're in and you don't have that many yards, then like I said, you might can get away with it. But if you're someone who has a lawn care business and you have like 15 to 20 yards and you need to do that with more yards, then maybe you might want to consider getting a Turfmaster. That's something that can withstand that amount of mowing and that wear and tear. You know what I mean? So now I'm gonna give you some situationals. When should you get a Timemaster and when should you get a Turfmaster? Okay, hypothetically, say you like walk behinds and your setup is going to be based around a walk behind. Starting off, like if you go back and look at Lawn Care Rookie, his first big mower was I think it was a 48-inch Toro. It was just like mine, my T-bar, but it was 48-inch, and that was his main mower. But he still had some areas where he had to get, you know, where he couldn't get his 48-inch in there, so he needed something smaller. So he had a push mower. So if that's the situation, you can get a Timemaster. You know what I mean? If you want to spend the extra money, because it's gonna be well worth it, and because you're not going to be using it on a regular basis, it's just situational. Now I know what you're thinking is, well, if I just need it in situational times, why would I get a Timemaster and pay $1,000 when I could pay $300 or $400 for a regular push mower? The answer to that is because what happens if your walk behind breaks down? You get what I'm saying? Now, are you going to be using that 21-inch to be pushing everything? You get what I'm saying? Or would you rather have a Timemaster? It's not quite a walk behind, but it's way more than a push mower. And then that way, you know, you kind of have a backup, you know what I mean, for your walk behind. So that's one situation where I would say get a Timemaster. Situation where I would say get a Turfmaster. Say you're in a more urban area, or like Florida. Florida has a whole lot of houses. It has neighborhoods with like a whole bunch of houses, and it's small yards, and it's a whole bunch of houses in one neighborhood. So you might get in a neighborhood, you might have like 10 houses, and it might be too big for a big old zero turn. So you got a zero turn, it's too big for that, but you can still knock it out with a push mower in no time. That situation, you're going to be using 30-inch type more often. So if in that case, go ahead and get the Turfmaster, if you want to do that. But see, my thing is about the Turfmaster, it's the price, right? The Timemaster is $1,000, right? The Turfmaster is $2,000. So with that being said, if you're, if you're gonna spend $2,000 on a Turfmaster, you might as well use that $2,000 and put it down on the walk behind. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. My thing is, you're saying, well, why don't you do that same thing with the Timemaster? Because Timemaster is only $1,000. A walk behind, even if it's $3,000 with tax and everything, you're gonna be looking at spending at least $3,500 if you get a cheap one. And so that $1,000 is not really gonna go for that far on a down payment for one. So you're gonna pretty much be financing the whole thing. But if you got a $2,000 to pay for a Turfmaster, then you might as well just take that $2,000, put it down, and you only have to finance like $1,500. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about the Turfmaster. It's just the Turfmaster. It's the price. See, what they're trying to do is they're trying to get that in between. You know what I mean? People who want something like a Timemaster but can't really afford walk behind, and they're trying to get that in between fan base. You know what I mean? So I would say, if you are thinking about getting a Turfmaster and you have the money to get a Turfmaster, let's go ahead and get it in the walk behind, really. You know what I mean? Because it's gonna be, shoot, if you put down $2,000 on a $1,500 and only have $1,500 to finance, it's gonna be less than $50 a month over like 48 months or something like that. Plus, if you're actually using it during the summertime, you're gonna pay off that $1,500 in no time. You know what I mean? No time. So that's how I feel about that. So hope that kind of answers some questions. I don't know, I was kind of rambling. But yeah, so let me see my phone. I'm trying to answer some random questions, random comments that I had on different videos. Let me go back to some other videos. Fences can't stop me. I just uploaded that video a couple days ago. Let's see if I had any comments, questions on here. Alright, this one comes from Runel Ruddison. Hope I said your name right, Runel Ruddison. How do you like using that Gravely Seth? Thing's freaking awesome. It was freaking awesome. I remember when I first got it, I said it didn't cut and I needed to change the blades, or the blades sucked on it. But what I found out is that I kind of Like I was, you know, I was used to cutting with my Mustang, and when I got the Gravely, I had, you know, my expectations was like way up here, and so I'm thinking like this is gonna be like, you know, a mower from God, like, you know, cutting a foot tall grass and not leaving no clippings, you know what I mean? But what I had to realize is that I was going in trying to cut like grass that was like 5 inches tall down to 3 inches and expecting the mower to, you know, leave nothing, which is not going to happen. Most mowers can't do that. So what I had to start using is right around 4 inches, that Gravely shreds grass. Sharp blades, 4 inches, that Gravely shreds grass. You're getting the 3.5, then, you know, you gotta go a little slower, but it cuts like butter, and it's reliable, it's solid. I love it. Let me see if there's another question on here. Alright, here's another video. Another question. This is a question off the video I just posted. Great Wall of Leaves. Hey Seth, for fall cleanups, what do you charge for your I'm having problems deciding? Fall cleanups. What I used to do, and what most people do, is they give a price up front, which is good, especially if you know it's gonna be a quick job and you just come there and be like $150, and the person's like, whoa, you know, the person's gonna say, whoa, you know, that's a lot. And you kind of say, well, you know, that's my price. You know what I mean? That's people, because I think, you know, that's what Keith Kelfers was talking about that. And, you know, that's when you got a lot of business going on, and you can do that, because Keith Kelfers did talk about that in another video. He said, once you said you want to get so much business that accumulated, some kind of bug, that when people ask you to do stuff you really don't want to do, you can just give them a price and not even have to worry about them turning it down, because you have that confidence that, like, I really don't need this job. And, you know, it's not like an arrogance. It's kind of like when you first start out, you almost begging people to do their yard, so you might do something for little to nothing, but you don't really want to do that, you know, and overwork yourself. Anywho, back to the question. Yeah, I charge hourly, and the way I explain it to somebody, let me give you an example. Go to the person, walk around the yard with the person. They're like, all right, so how much you think? I tell them, I said, all right, I charge $35 an hour, and then I charge anywhere between $10 to $25 for a load of leaves, every load that I take to the dump. And so, excuse me. And so, you know, I explained to them like that. It's beneficial to me, and it's beneficial to you. It's beneficial to you because if I quote you saying that I charge $35 an hour, and I say it's going to take me 3 hours, and it only takes me 2 hours, then you're going to be paying me an extra $35 for work that I didn't do. Or if I tell you it's going to take me 2 hours, and it takes me 4 hours, now I'm not going to be getting paid for the amount of time I did. So that's why I charge hourly. And like every time I explain that to people, they seem like they say, okay, that's fair. And they understand it, because, you know what I mean, what kind of person doesn't understand, you know, most people get paid by the hour anyway, you know what I mean? So, but I know a lot of people out there are saying, whoa, you know, you only get paid $35 an hour, and you can go there and tell them I'm charging you $200 and only work for 2 hours. That is true, but my thing is, in my mind is, how many people get paid $35 an hour? You know what I mean? Like $35 an hour for doing something that I like doing. You know what I mean? Hey, so, and it's actually more than that, because depending on how many leaves I get up is how much I charge for the haul away fee. That's why I said $10 to $25. Now, back when I had my small trailer, I would charge $10 to $15 because my small trailer could only pick up a certain amount of leaves, and I'm not gonna sit there and charge them, you know, $20 and I only filling up a 5x8 trailer. But my new trailer, that can fill up a whole lot of leaves, especially if I'm using the whole thing to fill it up. So at that point, that's when I'm charging, you know, $25 for a whole trailer load, and most time I just charge $15 to $20. But anywho, that's how I charge for leaf cleanups. I think I saw another question here. Oh, hey Seth, this is from Runel. Oh, sorry. That last question about how much do I charge was from Andrew. I'm not even gonna try to say this. I'm just gonna spell it. WEGLEITNER. Wegliner. This question comes from Runel again. Runel Ruddison. Hey Seth, what is that attachment called, and how much did it cost you? The attachment he's referring to is my dethatcher / sweeper, and I actually got it from a flea market for 90 bucks. I was one day randomly, McGee was like, hey, let's go to the flea market, and I was like, all right, cool. And so we went to the flea market, and it was there, and I actually got a guy was selling it for 100, and I said, well, I'll give you 80 for it. He said, all right, 90. I said, cool. And I said, well, I don't have my trailer with me, I gotta go home and get it. He said, well, I could drop it off at your house for $10. So I ended up paying what he asked for, but he delivered it. So that's how I got it. I don't know the name brand of it. It's out on my trailer now. Yeah, but yeah, it's basically a dethatcher. For those who don't know what a dethatcher is, it has these tines on it, and the tines rake up the dead grass that's in between the blades of grass on the ground. So when you put down seeds and fertilizer and stuff, it you know, gets it up. But the beauty of that thing is that it's a dethatcher and a sweeper all in one. So once it rakes up that dead grass, that thatch, the sweeper has a sweeper wheel on it. That sweeper throws it into the basket, and so you clean it up, because you do have dethatchers that don't have a basket. They just rake it up on top of the grass, and they have to go behind and clean it up. But that's the beauty of that. It has that sweeper on it. So what I do is I use it to sweep, you know what I mean? I would prefer, because they do make them just sweepers, you know what I mean, that just sweep the stuff up. But I mean, I just use what I got, because what happens sometimes, if it's a big pile of leaves, the leaves will get caught in those dethatcher tines, you know what I mean, and I have to stop and clear it out. So I would prefer just a straight sweeper, but that's what I got, so I use it, you know, and it's pretty awesome. So that's all the questions I'm gonna answer today. I didn't want this video to be too long, and like I said again, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Go Cowboys, and sorry to the Redskins. Yes sir.